2019 Ford Mustang GT Performance Pack 2. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm John Drives. Today I'm going to be doing my 6-month review over my brand new Ford Mustang GT Performance Pack 2. To start off the Performance Pack 2, only a few slight differences, but definitely noticeable. Thanks, sir. Definitely noticeable, mainly being like the brakes, the wheels, the tires. It has 305 size tires front and rear from the factory, which is kind of unheard of. I think the diff ratio is different. I believe it only comes in a manual as well, which is kind of cool. It's like an extra front splitter, a bunch of little things. If you want to know all the details, I'll go link everything in the description of the Performance Pack 2 and kind of what it has on it. So just so you guys know, I'm not really a Mustang guy in particular. I'm very unbiased on cars. I kind of just take them for what they are and try to feel them out and enjoy them. So if you're watching this video, you might be looking to getting one for yourself. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the issues that I've had with this car, which honestly, I haven't had any issues. It's a brand new car. You shouldn't have any problems. It has 7,042 miles on the odometer. Came right off the showroom floor. It has a warranty for so many miles. I just got the first oil change a couple thousand miles ago. We got the next one due here in a few thousand. So I bring that up because people have asked me if I had any ticking issues yet with the engine, and at 7,000 miles, it's a brand new car. Of course, I haven't had any issues. It's 2020. Hopefully, cars last more than 7,000 miles before they have any recalls. But 6 months of driving the PP2, what are my thoughts? Starting off, I love it just as much as I did the first day that I got it. The fun factor for me is there. Like, you can just go ahead, downshift in second, and it revs all the way out, 7,500 RPM, pulls hard, and feels so good. Sorry about that, buddy. Didn't mean to scare you. So that is one thing that I love, is the power. 460 horsepower, especially with the manual transmission. I test drove an automatic that was not a PP2, and it was fun, but the manual is what's really fun. I was like, you know what, I'm young. If there's any point in my life I need to own a Mustang GT with a manual, let's do it right now. I can go ahead and drive boring cars when I get older, but for now, let's have some fun. And that's kind of what got me on the car, was the fun factor of it. I made a video a while back talking about kind of my thoughts on behind the Mustang and why I got it, and I actually sold a Skyline GTR that I had, ended up getting the Mustang. It was mainly because I wanted to get something that I did not quite have to modify out the wazoo to get it to be fun. So a lot of cars are cool from the factory, but tend to want to modify them pretty heavily. I mean, I kind of want to modify this, but right now I'm satisfied. Because out of the box, it already has power. It's a manual. It has great suspension. And I don't know what more you want. Like, it looks cool. It literally looks like a modified car, but it's stock from the factory. I've had people roll up next to me and ask me what side skirts or side splitters I have. I said, man, this thing's bone stock from the factory. That's kind of part of the PP2 package, is it looks a little bit modified, but it's actually stock. Now, is it worth the money? I would say so. It's technically as close as you can get to a GT350 without being a GT350. I've never driven one. I've never even been in one, so I couldn't tell you if that's true or not. But the Performance Pack 2 is definitely the higher end of the GT trims without getting into the Shelbys and the GT350 and all that. So before I touch on the things that I dislike, I want to keep ranting on things that I really enjoy about the car. Something that the Performance Pack 2 has that I love, yet again, is the digital dash display. Man, this thing is super cool. Everybody who gets in the car loves it, because even it changes with the modes. So you go ahead and select your Sport Plus, and it changes the tack. One more time, track. And they even have drag strip mode, which I've never taken it to the drag strip, but they got a few other modes there for you. That's really cool. I like that a lot. It kind of gives it a really updated look to the interior. So the Performance Pack 2, the GT, interior-wise, is a touch different, mainly being the hard plastics, or at least wrapped in a little bit of, I don't even know what you would call it, something or another, where it looks a little bit nicer and it looks a little more high quality, like the dash caps and the center console. The Performance Pack 2, they're a little bit softer. They look less cheap, is a good way of saying it. The exhaust note on this car is pretty decent for a stock exhaust. So the overall styling on the Mustang GT, I really like it. The front end looks really aggressive, especially with the Performance Pack 2 extra splitter. Like, the splitter has a splitter, And I think it looks kind of cool. I'm thinking about getting the RTR lights in the front. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you like those? You think they look kind of ricey? Let me know what you think. The modifications I've done to this car don't exceed window tint, subwoofer, and some black badges. So I really like modifying all my cars. I'm trying to refrain from doing it to this one because it has a warranty. If you start modifying these cars from factory, unfortunately it voids your warranty with Ford, which in my eyes is extremely valuable in case you have some sort of issue down the line. You want to be able to take that in and they'll take care of it free of charge. I don't recall exactly what the warranty is. I'll go ahead and put it on the screen right here to tell you exactly what the warranty is. Some people have issues with this manual transmission. Overall, 7,000 miles in, I'm all good. The clutch is buttery smooth, so easy. There's one thing I really like about daily driving this manual. So before this car, I had a Subaru WRX STI, and the clutch was a little bit more aggressive, which kind of made it a little bit uncomfortable to drive for a long period of time. I might be kind of complaining too much on that, but an easier clutch does make it kind of more relaxed to drive on the daily. At least for me, manual can get really tiring if you drive it often and you drive a lot, especially in traffic. So this clutch, really easy to drive, really nice. Comfort level of this car for a sports car is quite high. It's no luxury car by no means. It still is a little bit loud. Tires and the road noise and the exhaust. But the seats are nice, the suspension's not super stiff, which is good. It still handles really well. You can kind of sit back, relax, kind of chill if you want to. It has auto downshift rev match, which is nice, so I can just sit here with my foot off the gas, not have to focus on flipping the throttle if I don't want to. You can turn it off, which is nice. So if you want to drive this car hard and like it should be driven, you can turn it off and work on your heel toes. So things that I've disliked over these past 6 months, there are a few glitches in the system. One being like sometimes my mirrors will freak out. The electronic mirror will just like start clicking and then go back to normal. So nothing major. At the end of the day, it's a Ford, honestly. So like I gotta give them a break. I get it, they make millions of these cars or whatever, so it's a Mustang. Maybe something I dislike about it is it's a little bit tight for me, a little bit small. I'm about 6'4", so my headroom is pretty much maxed out. But I did test drive a Camaro, and that was tiny. That was way smaller than the Mustangs. I didn't look into a Challenger, mainly because I didn't want to get into like boating and going sailing every day. Honestly, I can't think of that many things that I really dislike about the car. There are a few like little things, like sometimes the manual will get annoying in traffic, but that's just kind of for all manuals. I do wish the seats had electronic back, but like the back of the seat is controlled by the manual lever and then the bottom is controlled by the electronic. I wish they just didn't cheap out and made them both electronic so you could adjust it a little bit more. Something I didn't really like about the Performance Pack 2 from the factory are the tires. So they came with, like I said, 305s front and rear, but they came with Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires, which if you don't know, those are extremely track oriented. They have like 180 tread wear or something crazy, and like the sucker wouldn't even hook up. I bought the car in the fall and it wasn't even chilly. And I'm not gonna say it was dangerous, but if you're not on the track, I don't think they're that ideal of a tire. They're definitely not a street tire. So I took those off, sold those, and put some Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's on here, which do fantastic. The car has so much grip, it's actually insane. I've never understeered in this car. You can just chuck it in crazy hard, and it'll like, before it understeers, it'll just scrub the speed, which is really cool. I think that has something to do with the 305 tires up front. Maybe something else that I wish was a little bit different on the Performance Pack 2. So with the PP2 package, you do get the Brembos up front. However, you got the ugly stock caliper in the back, which I think looks kind of dumb. I wish they went ahead and put like a Brembo caliper on the back or something where at least it looks a little bit better. I know the rears don't do a whole lot, but at least where it looked a little more appealing. So if you're wondering what I paid for this car off the lot, brand new Ford Mustang GT Performance Pack 2, 2019 with 0 miles, came out the door at $43,000. The sticker price was, I think, $51. They ended up coming off sticker a decent amount, trying to get rid of the 2019s earlier this year. I plan to drive this car for quite some time now. I say that and end up selling it, but I think I'm going to stick with this one for a while. I want to drive it a while, especially until that warranty gets used up, and maybe when that warranty gets used up, I might go ahead and sell it and get something else. Woo! Now, this thing is good. This thing is good. When she hooks, she pulls pretty hard. For 460 horsepower from the factory, I'm not complaining. It's about the right amount to daily without getting too carried away, in my opinion. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them down in the comments below. I'll try to respond to as many as I can, and I know there's a big Mustang community. That'll help you out as well. Also, don't forget to subscribe as well to stay up to date with all the cars and the builds. I have a huge variety of builds on my channel. I'm trying to go ahead and organize them and get them rolling along. So that is going to conclude my 6-month review of my 2019 Ford Mustang GT Performance Pack 2. That is a mouthful to say, but overall I love the car. I definitely recommend it. It's a lot of car for the money. It stops on a dime. It handles amazingly. It does good in a straight line. Kind of does it all, which is really nice. Maybe one day I'll set one of these cars up to drift, which would be super cool. Don't forget, go subscribe, hit that thumbs up. I'll see you guys in the next video.